we had fruitful deliberations, but they identified a number of loopholes in the management of trade at the border. They were complaining about a trade imbalance between Uganda and Tanzania. They're also complaining about the quality. So the joint venture was the starting point.
My target as the Minister of Trade is to make sure that there is nothing that will disorganize trade at any border. Because the confusion that we have always gotten with our neighbors comes majorly from ourselves.
To address these challenges, government has given mandate to RADFO, a rice-affiliated association, to organize all importers and manage the undisciplined players in the rice value chain.
In order to save the sector from further injury and save millions of farmers and millers, government has assigned you, RADFO, the responsibility of acting as the apex body of the rice importers from within East African Community Partner States from 1st of January to 30th June 2022.
RADFO is not only looking up to importing rice, but also to substitute into production.
In 2020, Uganda imported rice worth $78 million from Tanzania, an amount that is expected to grow exponentially as the border operations return to normalcy. Charlotte Amuge and Dennis Sigor for ABC News.
The leader of opposition in parliament, that is the Honorable Mathias Mpuga, has pledged to continue with the positive cause of demand for accountability from government and as well change the face of politics in the country. Mpuga says that one of the key issues he's going to focus on is to build a strong opposition wing that will continue working for the interest of ordinary Ugandans.
Also pledge that we will continue to work with you and will come any criticism, any kind of advice, as long as you're sure that it will make us better.
So the space that we want to fight for does not belong to politicians alone, but the space for everyone to do their work, because our roles are not competitive but complementary in building a Uganda to which all of us would be proud to bequeath to our children and future generations. I can tell you the time to work in the dark is no more. And we want to use the media as the torchbearer of our activities. After all, we claim to be on accountability and service. We are going to account for every inch of space and time we shall occupy in that place, in that house. And I have put it on notice, my ministers, that we have had enough at the resort. Time for the trenches.
Yes, Mathias Mpuga was addressing an end-of-year party with brothers and sisters from the profession. I've also seen our own Susan Naonga there taking to the floor. Happy New Year, brothers and sisters. Meanwhile, the 18th Extraordinary East African Community Heads of State Summit directed the Council of Ministers to expeditiously commence and conclude negotiations with the DRC for admission to the East African Community and report to the next summit. And as Samuel Sendano reports in this one, the virtual summit also considered the proposal to amend Rule 11 of the Rules of Procedure and directed the Secretariat to convene an extraordinary meeting of the Sectoral Council on Legal and Judicial Affairs to deliberate and advise on the proposal for consideration by the next summit.
The summit was chaired by President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya and attended by President Museveni of Uganda, President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, President Samia Suluhu Hassan of Tanzania, His Excellency Prosper Bombaza, the Vice President of the Republic of Burundi, and Honorable Deng Alo Okul, Minister for East African Community Affairs, Republic of South Sudan, representing President Salva Kiir. Today's proceedings started by observing a minute of silence for fallen Tanzanian President John Pombe Magufuli, who passed on in March this year. The chairperson of the summit, President Uhuru Kenyatta, informed the leaders that he had received the considered report by the Council of Ministers that considered the application by the Democratic Republic of Congo to join the East African community.
I reaffirm the commitment of the summit to the East African community integration process. We are certainly sure that this is an effective vehicle for the economic development and prosperity of the people of East Africa. We therefore continue to prioritize the community agenda at both national and regional levels.
On his part, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni told the heads of state that Congo has always been part of East Africa and the distortions by the colonialists had kept them away. Museveni highlighted what he considers the purposes of integration.
The purpose of integration are really three. Number one, how do you solve the problem of prosperity? Ustawi wa jamii. Prosperity comes from business, production of goods and services. When you produce goods and services, where do you sell them? You sell them within the country, you sell them within the region, you sell them in Africa and internationally. The more buyers you have, the better. The second point about integration is strategic security. You can see how insecurity doesn't know boundaries, it goes from here to there. If we don't work together, we shall not manage the issue of insecurity. And finally, the people we are integrating are Nindugu. They are similar people. So it is easy for us. It's not like the Europeans who are trying to unite people who are different, speaking different language. Sisi tuko na lugha ya Kiswahili, which is a neutral language. So I'm really very happy, and I thank His Excellency for inviting us and the steps we have taken today. And I'm glad that many of the presidents attended in person. Thank you very much.
Other heads of state also welcomed the move and promised to expedite the admission process to finality.
I also wish to note that Rwanda welcomes the progress made with regards to the admission in the East African Community of the Democratic Republic of Congo. We look forward to the prompt conclusion of the remaining admission procedures.
We have considered the verification mission report on readiness of DRC to join the community, and we have given directives which will expedite finalization of the remaining processes. We all know the importance of DRC joining our community, as all partner states have long and close cooperation by either bordering or having trade relationship, which will enhance prosperity of our people and the region.
Whether in political, economic, and social sectors are vital, and we have to ensure their implementation is critical and instinctive in all EAC partner states.
The Democratic Republic of Congo, which has a population of close to 90 million people, is expected to join the community before March 2022. The community has undertaken 7 out of the 10 agreed steps towards Congo's admission into the East African community. In his closing remarks, the chairperson of the summit, President Uhuru Kenyatta, reminded the leaders about the COVID-19 pandemic and how the member states can work together to contain the mutating virus. Samuel Senono, UBC News.
Samuel Senono reporting about the summit of the presidents of the East African community. Cabinet has, in other news, considered the ban of ammonium nitrate fertilizers in the country, advising farmers to resort to alternative fertilizers on the market. Cabinet has also considered the proposal by the Ministry of Health to implement a vaccine mandate. As Ivan Kahwa reports, it is now legal for institutions to demand vaccination certificates to access services if they may wish.
Cabinet has approved the proposal by the Ministry of Health to implement the vaccine mandate. This means that workplaces, business places, institutions have legal rights to stop anyone from accessing their services once evidence of vaccination is not presented.
We shall not compel Ugandans to get vaccinated. In other words, getting vaccinated is voluntary. You may choose to get vaccinated or not. But workplaces, business premises, organizers of events have a right legally to stop you from accessing those areas if you have not been vaccinated.
Government has acquired enough doses of vaccine to vaccinate over 22 million Ugandans above the age of 18.
We now have no excuse at all for us not to be vaccinated, because if we get vaccinated as Ugandans, that is the quick way of arresting these infections, and then as we prepare to open the economy, to open the country.
Cabinet has also banned the importation and use of ammonium nitrate fertilizers in the country. It has been established that the solution has been used in the manufacturing of improvised explosive devices.
That these are fertilizers which we use in our agricultural industry, but they have alternative types of fertilizers which can be used, and these we have noted are being abused.
Cabinet also considered a paper position by the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs to verify all veterans in the country to ascertain those whose areas have and not been cleared.
So the veterans out there, the ministry will officially announce the dates in January when they are coming, and then provide the information.
On the other hand, Amanda Ngabirano has been approved as the chairperson for the National Physical Planning Board. Ivan Kahua, UBC News.
Entebbe Grade 1 Magistrate Court confirmed 3 charges against city pastor Aloysius Bujengo and his alleged wife Susan Makula Nantaba. This follows the LC1 later from Werenga village confirming the customary marriage ceremony that took place there between the two and the confirmation of the charges by the complainant Male Mabiliza Hassan Chiwanuka to court. Magistrate Stella Okwang Pakula is presiding over the matter. The alleged offences were committed on the 7th of December 2021 in Entebbe, Wakiso district.
The accused Pastor Aloysius Bujengo and his alleged wife Susan Makula Nantaba in court before Magistrate Stella Okwang Pachula were represented by their lawyer Hindi Ronald, although the accused did not appear in court as summoned. During the session, Magistrate Stella Okwang Pachula read the alleged charges against the accused. However, lawyer Hindi dismissed the charges, saying that they were not stipulated anywhere within the law. Hassan Malema Bilizi, one of the applicants in this matter, basing his arguments on the rules governing the Marriage Act of 1959 and the Penal Code Act Cap 120, assured court that the charges against the accused are specified in the laws.
What's remaining, and we are going to serve them with those charges in advance, and what is remaining will be for them to appear here on 21st January 2022 to answer those charges, and I think by then we shall have all the evidence within our hands and we shall be able to proceed.
I saw this as an opportunity to educate the public about marriage laws, so that those laws can see the light of the day and be respected by the marriage people.
After listening to both sides' submissions, Magistrate Stella Okwang Pachula confirmed 3 charges against the accused.
Susan Makula Nantaba on the 7th day of December 2021 at Kauku, Kani Town Council, Wakiso District, being unmarried, went through the ceremony of marriage with Pastor Aloysius Bujengo, a person she knew to be married to Teddy Naruswa Bujengo.
However, court compelled the accused, Aloysius Bujengo, and his alleged wife, Susan Makula Nantaba, to appear in court without fail come the 21st of January 2022, when court will resume. In the Leighton court record, presented to court by the LC1 chairman of Werenga village in Entebbe Wakiso district, Emoit Joseph, it confirmed the occurrence of the alleged customary marriage ceremony, which took place between the two on the 7th of December 2021. The charges against the accused include contracting marriage by customary law when already married, marriage with a person preciously married, and 1 count of bigamy, contrary to Section 153 of the Penal Code Act, Cap 120. The said offences were committed on 7th December 2021 at Honorable Nyombi Tembo's home in Entebbe Wakiso district. If the accused are found guilty on the alleged offences, they are likely to face a sentence of 5 years imprisonment. Nathan Rebecca, Kaguku Besula, UBC News.
UBC Lunchtime News. Residents in Bududa are undergoing a training on contour digging so as to preserve the environment and provide financial empowerment to locals affected by the landslides. The program's manager, Muzuri ya Nguvu Conservation and Rescue Organization, Wadiezi Matia, says that contours will control the running waters.
Being a hotspot district affected by landslides, Muzuri ya Nguvu Conservation and Rescue Organization has moved to the hard-to-reach areas of Bududa district to provide technical support to the locals.
The waters of this soil here is at the sub-horizons, if we can remember our science of soil profile. That is where water is in the middle. That's why you realize that some houses, they end up sinking because there is a gap in between there. So if we want to control the landslides or the mudslides, we have to dig it in the way that we make it a bit more wider. This is a contour trench, and this contour trench is 2.5 feet.
This follows a resettlement program by government for the people living in risky areas to safer areas. Residents, however, are calling for a conservation program rather than relocation.
Okulima embibira ffenna ne tujoyininga ndowooza tetujja kusengulibwa ate eno twamanyire waffe etwalisumya amazzi mukoka tatwala ttaka obugimu bunnanka mu bitooke byaffe kaakati bigimu.
As we have been started with this project of Muzuri ya Nguvu, we have started now controlling erosion. I think the government can make a plan to empower on this project.
Muzuri ya Nguvu Conservation and Rescue Organization is empowering local communities to save by forming village groups.
Tusomesa abantu kulaba nti batandikawo ebibiina ebyokwekulaakulanya. Tugezaako okubayamba ku landslide ate n'okubayamba okulaba nti beekulaakulanya.
Kamoti Milton, the Bududa district chairperson, says the intervention is timely.
Right now as we talk, I have people at Bulucheke who are now stranded. I have over 150. I want to welcome your intervention, preserving and conserving the environment.
We thank you so much for watching. From Bududa, we'll now take a very short break. We have more that you don't want to miss on return. Keep it with us.
Everyone deserves more this festive season, which is why MTN Momo is giving you more thank you points on your MTN Momo withdrawals at agent locations. Get 150 thank you points for every 1,000 shillings spent in withdrawal fees. More thank you points means you get more free minutes, more free MBs, more free SMSs, and more free Momo Pay shopping. To use your thank you points, dial *141#.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Raising voices.
Like other fathers across Uganda, I'm standing up to say no to violence against children. I commit to give my children a violence-free childhood. As fathers, we can make Uganda safer for our children. I promise to speak out when I see violence.
In this time of COVID, what is your promise to the children of Uganda? Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising voices.
You know, you could just buy a new smartphone from anywhere in Uganda. Dial *175*94# to activate a 100% double data bonus offer on weekly or monthly bundles for 3 months. Better yet, you automatically receive free 1 GB valid for 30 days. You are hooked already, aren't you? Enjoy 100% double data bonus from Airtel. Buy a smartphone from anywhere in Uganda and insert an Airtel SIM card. Dial star 175 star 94 hash to activate a 100% data bonus offer on weekly or monthly bundles. Valid for 3 months. Dial star 175 hash and select your preferred bundle to activate a 100% data bonus offer on weekly or monthly bundles. Valid for 3 months. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The thing goes twink, twink, twink. Woo.
Grab an ice-cold bottle of Pepsi Max today and drink to your bold lifestyle. Enjoy maximum taste with no sugar. Now available at a shop near you. Maximum taste, no sugar.
Everyone deserves more this festive season, which is why MTN Momo is giving you more thank you points on your MTN Momo withdrawals at agent locations. Get 150 thank you points for every 1,000 shillings spent in withdrawal fees. More thank you points means you get more free minutes, more free MBs, more free SMSs, and more free Momo Pay shopping. To use your thank you points, dial star 141 hash.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
This holiday season is all about kujienjoy, kupiga sherehe na kuget lit na kupata way more than you expected. Soon to be father. Kwenye Showmax original film Baba Twins. It's about kuget jina lako kwenye limelight in Famous. First and only on Showmax. I need to discover who I am without you. And it's about kuchotwa na drama or holding on for dear life in the telenovela Kina.
No matter what.
Form ni kupiga sherehe kiwewe na hii yote iko just a click away. Get festive, get Showmax.
Yes, we thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the short break that we just had. In our business news this lunchtime, United Nations Development Programme through its implementing pattern of fish cage farming, Pearl Aquatics, has handed over a 2.8 billion shillings project to the women of Waka Waka landing site in Bujiri district. Yes, we'll have details to that story of the landing site and the fishermen in our subsequent bulletins. But now, moving on, still in business, the Electricity Regulatory Authority is forging partnerships with entities such as banks and dealers of electronics with an aim of growing electricity demand. This comes on the heels of the recent announcement of reduced tariffs, especially for domestic users. The new power tariffs will come into effect on January the 1st of 2022.
On December 16th, the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, Ruth Nankabirwa, announced new tariffs for commercial, industrial and domestic use. The technical team from the Electricity Regulatory Authority have endeavored to sensitize the public through the media on how the new electricity cooking tariff works.
Not all the generation that is being pumped out is actually being consumed. And one of the initiatives that the authority is doing in terms of growing the demand for electricity is to make sure that people at home can cook with clean sources of energy.
The objective of the reduced tariff is to promote usage of clean energy, boost electricity consumption, and reduce the dependence on ecologically unfriendly wood fuel and charcoal.
LPG, we don't look at it as our competitor in this. For us, we are targeting charcoal. We want to make sure we give an economic and financial reason for someone to shift from using charcoal to electricity. When someone sits down and runs their numbers, it should make economic sense for them to make that transition.
Domestic consumers have been paying 250 shillings per kilowatt for the first 15 units under the Lifeline tariff and thereafter pay 747.5 shillings for the next units purchased. But under the new cooking tariff, domestic users will pay 412 shillings per kilowatt after consumption shoots above 80 units. However, it's capped on 150 units per month.
Reliability is there. Issues of tariffs that people are complaining about are getting resolved, but the misconceptions need to be attended to. Let's cause appropriate awareness. Let people know that food cooked on electricity is as sweet as their predefined foods that are prepared using charcoal or firewood.
Currently, Uganda has surplus electricity with an installed generation capacity of 1,269 megawatts and peak demand of 765 megawatts, leaving a surplus of 504 megawatts. Dennis Ikoa and Charlotte Muge for UBC News.
And now, talking sport, Uganda Police Force has rewarded its excellent performers from the Tokyo 2020 Games with promotions and cash rewards. The colorful ceremony graced by the Inspector General of Police, Okoth Ochola, was followed by our reporter at the police headquarters in Naguru.
I now wish to announce that at its last sitting, the police authority approved and promoted Inspector Cheptegei Joshua and Inspector Njia Benjamin to Assistant Superintendent of Police.
By the powers vested unto him, the Inspector General of Police has promoted and rewarded Uganda police members that took part in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Gold medalist Joshua Cheptegei and coach Benjamin Njia have moved from Inspector of Police to Assistant Superintendent of Police. Peruth Chemutai, who became the first female medal winner, was first returned to police constable and then instantly promoted to Inspector of Police. The force also hailed those that took part but didn't win at the Olympics, including Marceline Chelangat, who is now a full Inspector of Police, Immaculate Chemutai from Corporal to Assistant Inspector of Police, and Lenny Shida, formerly a constable, now Assistant Inspector of Police.
For any competitive game, it is usually not about who runs fastest, but it is the feeling of teamwork that you will always excel. I further encourage you to use the teamwork to strengthen the relationships in your lives.
The IGP tasked this crop to be exemplary and improve the esteem of the force that is one of the bedrocks of Uganda's sports industry.
Once again, congratulations.
He also recalled from retirement and reinstated Coach Faustino Kiwa into the force for his service to sport in the force over the years. The Uganda Police Athletics team also received a van to ease movement with plans to acquire a training center in the pipeline. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
And that is all we had for you this afternoon. We thank you so much for watching. But of course, we are still at work as UBC TV Newsroom. More news will be your way in Kiswahili, Luganda, and Rotangonzi. We'll seal it off with news tonight. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. On behalf of the whole crew here, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Everyone deserves more this festive season, which is why MTN Momo is giving you more Senkyu points on your MTN Momo withdrawals at agent locations. Get 150 Senkyu points for every 1,000 shillings spent in withdrawal fees. More Senkyu points means you get more free minutes, more free MBs, more free SMSs, and more free Momo Pay shopping. To use your Senkyu points, dial *141#.
Everywhere you go, MTN.